Why does that then equate to moral viability?
It equates to scientific viability.
Why? Under what standard?
Because it is not alive, and you are advocating for the rights of something that is not technically a life.
Got it. So what is
what I love is around this point here, you can tell the tricks are kind of running out, right? You know, the couple minutes have gone down on the clock, and my attempt to be like, okay, so you're calling babies parasites didn't work. All right, that one didn't work. Okay, well, what about you calling old people parasites then? Okay, that one didn't work either. And now you're pretty much clearly explaining a topic to me that I haven't fully wrapped my enormous chrome around. All right, so we have He of the Shrinking Face versus 25 college students. I'm going to only be showing you one, I think, of the 25. I don't know if there's other moments because it's an hour and 30 minutes I've seen, but the one college student absolutely eviscerate Charlie Kirk, but it was a beautiful thing indeed, so I wanted to check it out.
I think that...
yes or no question?
I think that a person who is assigned male at birth, I don't think they
assigned male?
Not judge. And
Go into viability.
Well before
Society?
And I love, so the whole thing is basically, I think it's you have to be the first one to be able to get to Charlie to answer the question. When a majority of the flags are raised, a new speaker may step in to debate. And so we have a new opponent, a new challenger appears.
for sure, yeah.
Then it should be illegal.
But I think that it's really different, right? Because, you know, these people aren't.
Sorry, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Here she goes.
Clean up your room.
Okay, what's your name?
Naima.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, can I just ask, at how many weeks do you think that a fetus is viable?
Well, viability and moral worth are two different things.
No, but I'm asking you, at how many weeks do you think
at
a
about
fetus
20
is viable?
weeks, a baby can survive outside of utero.
So it's actually 24 to 26
Well, it's
weeks?
20. The youngest ever in a NICU unit actually happened in San Diego, not far from here, and survived at 20 weeks.
Okay.
Okay, so that doesn't mean that her point was invalid. You're talking about an extreme case, and it's like, hey, so the rule, and she's right and correct in placing it, is that on average, this is when they are viable. But again, that's Charlie doing Charlie Kirk.
So under Roe v. Wade, 93% of abortions happened in the first 13 weeks of pregnancy. That's 93% of the abortions happened well before a fetus is technically viable as a form of life.
Let's go into viability. So what is it about, let's say, a 6-week baby that has a heartbeat, its own DNA, fingerprint, brain waves, that is less moral worth than an 88-year-old right now with dementia in a home down the street? That person requires assistance.
You can tell already they're talking about something so far from the original thing where she's like, can you please define when you believe that a baby is viable? We're trying to get some terms and define it, and then we can kind of move from there. But immediately he's going to, hey, why don't we do that thing where I compare, an unborn fetus or developing fetus to someone who's in senior care who may or may not be conscious. Do they not have equal worth to you, right? So boom, we've already moved very rapidly to something else.
Assistance requires help. Why is it that the 6-week baby is of less moral worth?
Well, first of all, it's not a baby, it's a fetus.
Well, what does fetus mean?
A fetus is in utero.
What does fetus mean in Latin?
What the f***? I'm sorry.
It means
Honestly, again, best possible response you can have, because I'm answering your questions as clear and concisely as you want, but you can tell that he's got something that is, oh, Charlie's excited here. He's got a little thing you might not know. I bet you don't know what it means in Latin, and it's really going to shock you. But I jump scare warning, everyone, jump scare warning. You're about to see Charlie Kirk and his face.
It means little human being.
Ooh, his smile is very creepy. Okay.
Clean up your room.
Right? I can imagine being like that close, literally just separated by a couple other faces, and it's just right there in front of you. Yeah, okay, fine. I didn't know what fetus meant in Latin. Cool. Good job, Charlie. You're just fucking dropping truth bombs here.
Okay,
smiling is creepy?
No, your smile specifically.
Got it.
But let's go back to, we're losing track here.
No, but
that was the very start, by the way. This is the first 3 minutes and 40 seconds.
But is what species is the fetus?
The fetus is not a species yet. It's technically classified as a parasite until it is viable.
So,
now I want to talk to you about something very quickly.
I can't let you get past that. Are you saying a baby is a disease or a tumor?
A parasite is not a disease and a tumor. Those are not the same thing. A parasite is defined as something that cannot survive outside of its host. A baby, before it is viable, cannot survive outside of a woman's womb.
Got it. So let's extrapolate that.
It is not.
Again, just beautiful facts being dropped rapid fire on Charlie. But you can tell Charlie he's got to keep goalposting. Every single time it's like, okay, well, did you know what fetus is? Yes, so a fetus is... No. Do you know what it means in Latin? And then right after that being like, okay, fine. So you defined that. But now, okay, you said the word parasite. That's a scary word. I feel it has negative connotations. Let's extrapolate this. So you're saying it's the same thing as a tumor. Are you calling babies a disease? Do you think children are a disease? Shame on you. Like, again, every single time you can tell he's moving rapidly to try and gain the upper hand, and try and all of a sudden be like, oh, well, you don't know what you're talking about, okay? The kids aren't diseases. They're gifts from God. Every single one of them has the eyes of an angel within them, and that you're a deplorable Satanist and, you know, kind of shit.
A living organism.
Are old people with Alzheimer's and dementia that are being assisted every day, are they parasites?
No, they're...
See, that's goalpost. We're not talking about the same thing anymore. You've changed the topic now. Now you've changed the topic to what are your thoughts on old people who have dementia or old people who are unconscious, someone who's in a coma? What do you feel about them? And it's like, we weren't talking about that. 2 seconds ago, you were asking me what a fetus was. And then you were saying, what species is a fetus? And I was trying to tell you that they're defined as a parasite. Now, I know when you hear the word parasite, you immediately think negative. You think like a stomach worm or something like that, right? But I'm trying to explain to you what a parasite is and why it would be defined as that, simply on the basis that it cannot survive without its host, the host being the mother.
They're not parasites. They're human beings who are on the brink of death.
Got it. So my
They're not going to be able to survive.
4-month-old that requires mom's breast milk and requires daily changes and feedings cannot survive without its own. Is my 4-month-old a parasite?
Your baby can breathe on its own. Your baby can drink water from its mouth to its stomach.
But it cannot.
Your baby can eat
it hunt?
food.
Can it gather? Can it reason?
But that's not what qualifies something as being a living organism. Being a living organism simply means, can you survive outside of a womb, outside of your host?
Got it. So I just want to make sure I'm clear. Why does that then equate to moral viability?
It equates to scientific viability.
Why? Under what standard?
Because it is not alive, and you are advocating for the rights of something that is not technically a life.
Got it. So what is something
while
that has
sacrificing...
So what I love is around this point here, you can tell the tricks are kind of running out, right? You know, the couple minutes have gone down on the clock, and my attempt to be like, okay, so you're calling babies parasites didn't work. All right, that one didn't work. Okay, well, what about you calling old people parasites then? Okay, that one didn't work either. And now you're pretty much clearly explaining a topic to me that I haven't fully wrapped my enormous chrome around, right? Like, he hasn't actually tried to process this as a concept. And when he hears these terms, he's like, well, you said parasite bad. So, I'm comparing it right now to elders. Would you say that about an old person? Would you call them a parasite? She's like, no, because by definition, again, they would be a parasite.
The needs of the human woman who is alive.
Got it. So, but a mom can survive
Yes.
without the baby in her, right?
Yes.
The baby cannot survive without the mom.
Yes.
But a mom cannot survive without her lungs. So it's not her body, it's in her body. It's not her DNA, so it's not her choice. So it's a...
It actually is...
That's... You backed up her point. And it's too bad, because this is why I hate Jubilee. We were getting somewhere. This is it. This is what we've always been talking about. These are high-level ideas. Charlie Kirk is getting fucking schooled in rapid-fire rotation right now. And immediately saying, okay, next one. Next one. But I was like, no, oh, we're so close.
It's directly her DNA.
It
is 100%. It's 50% of her DNA.
Half her DNA.
Like, in any case, you don't think there's any case where abortion should be legal?
There's a very, very rare couple cases.
Okay, so you do think
hold
that
on
a couple
second.
cases
Hold
it
on.
is legal?
If cesarean section is not going to save the mother's life, and the mother's life is actually...
I love cat memes. Oh yeah, you're not going to defeat the left by fucking trying to, you know, corner the market on cat memes. Like, the left dominates cat memes. I'm sorry.
at risk, which is
just
debated
the
amongst growing numbers of OBGYNs.
Okay.
That is the only case where abortion should be
Do you
allowed.
think there
But,
Fair enough,
but people say it is a growing consensus in the pro-life world that abortion is never medically necessary.
Okay. So if you had a daughter and
That's just not true. Again, like, Jubilee, right now there should be a little pop-up at the bottom. It is in fact not accurate. The growing consensus of the medical community is that an abortion is never medically necessary. That's just a flat-out lie.
she was 10 and she got raped, and she was
Well,
going to
I-
give birth,
I
and
do
she
have
would
a
no
daughter.
wait. Oh, and she was going to give birth, and she was going to live. Would you want her to go through that and carry her
Well,
rapist baby?
That's awfully graphic. The
It's no, but it's a real life
Okay,
scenario
well,
that happens
calm
to
down.
many
The
people.
answer is yes, the baby would be delivered.
Oh, okay, great. So that's insane.
But let me tell you why. No, hold on. Let me ask you a question. There's 2 ultrasounds I have. One is a baby conceived in one is a baby conceived by a loving couple. Which one is which?
Your daughter was probably hopefully conceived by a somewhat loving couple.
Conceived by Tell me which one was conceived by
You don't know.
Exactly, because it's all human rights and
But
it's all
that
human beings.
doesn't matter.
So
It's about your daughter who has to give.
Except for the woman who was sexually assaulted, Charlie. That's the part of the equation you're missing out on. Yeah, I know. It's like, hey, well, who among you is not a rape baby? There are rape babies among us, all right? And many of them have lived fulfilling lives. Are you trying to deny their right to have being a human with autonomy? It's like, but what about the woman who was raped? That's the person you're forgetting about.
Birth to it and is going to be tortured by that for the rest of her life. That's going to take away every freedom she's ever going to have. That's going to ruin her life. She's going to grow up and she's going to be attached to another thing.
The point is how you were conceived is irrelevant what human rights you get.
But
hold on one second. If a person conceived in walks down the side of the street, it's not like they don't get First Amendment rights or Second Amendment rights.
It's
or
not
Fourth
about
Amendment
that
rights.
person.
The worst thing to do to the daughter is to then say, hey, we're going to go murder the being inside of you.
They wouldn't even know. Like, listen.
They wouldn't know?
Listen.
But wouldn't it be a better story to say something
wouldn't.
evil happened and we do something good in the face of evil instead of saying we're going to do evil and then murder the being because we're going to pander to the
Jesus, does he not understand that that would be a 24/7 living reminder in your life that you would see every single day that would remind you of your own sexual assault? Is there nothing like profoundly fucked up about that either, Charlie? I feel like the only person he doesn't care about is women. It's always just like, oh, no, I care so much about life. I care so much about, you know, the sanctity of life and all that kind of stuff. It's just, I don't care about people after they've been born, essentially.
Evil? No. What makes the West great is that we do good after evil, not evil after evil.
It's not about the being in the cells.
No,
it's not about. No. I'm speaking.
No,
I'm speaking.
we're both-
No, I'm
we're both
speaking.
clumps
No,
of cells.
I'm speaking.
We're
No, I'm
both
speaking.
clumps
No,
of
I'm
cells,
speaking.
okay?
No, I'm speaking. No, I'm speaking.
Want to say it one more time?
No, I'm speaking.
Got it.
Thank you. So it's not. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about
I
the
know you
person.
don't care about them.
No. I'm talking about the person who is dealing with the pregnancy. I am not talking about the cells. I don't
the
care. No,
cells.
listen. The fetus, the whatever. I don't care about that right now
Whatever.
until it is
Wow.
formed.
When does it become formed?
If there is a 5-year-old child who is pregnant and the baby is 2 weeks in
Five-year-olds
utero,
can't get pregnant,
actually
okay?
they have given birth. There is
5-year-olds have given pregnant.
There
I
is
stand
one.
corrected.
There is one recorded case of a 5-year-old girl who gave birth.
Is that common?
Yes, it's common.
Oh, Charlie, but this is your entire basis of a lot of your own argumentation. When someone was explaining to you that the average pregnancy, the viability is going to be between like the 24th week, he was just like, oh, no, 20. There's been a single case where a baby was viable at 20 weeks. So that's just a matter of fact. That's the new rule.
5-year-olds get sometimes, and if they get pregnant,
5-year-olds
I think they should be able to have medical access to something that could save not only just their life, but like their livelihood.
How many, I'm curious.
I hope your daughter lives a very happy life and gets away from you.
Okay, so that is.
I don't know if that one's as good. The first one, by and far, you know, he just got absolutely demolished. There's a reason I think that one clip is doing the rounds all over the internet right now. But yeah, you have a right to be as angry as you can. Like, I don't know how you could sit across from Charlie Kirk and try to have a rational conversation with someone who is as, like, this is the definition of someone who's not there to, in good faith, have a debate or learn anything. He's there to destroy 25 liberal college students and outsmart all 25 of them, and he's obviously going to use every underhanded tactic there is, from moving the goalpost constantly to trying to reframe everything from his own moral standpoint. And it doesn't matter, like, the best possible course of action outside of obviously just factually destroying him like that first person did would be to just mock him. Honestly, at a certain point, he's not treating you with respect. He's not treating any of you with respect. He's not treating the conversation with respect. He's not treating women's bodies with respect. He doesn't give a fuck about all that. It's all about evangelizing to his own crowd, right? The whole thing. Just like the aunt, I have those kids who abandoned her. She got emotional and conservative, was just triggered lib. Yeah, see, that clip right there is 100% going to do the rounds as like the triggered lib. Like, oh yeah, you can't have a conversation with me because the libs got too triggered. These snowflakes need their safe space, and let alone then there was me invading the safe space, all that kind of stuff, right? But it'd be very quick and easy to point out that Charlie Kirk clearly doesn't care about women. In every one of these equations and fantasy scenarios he's making up, it's always just like, well, yeah, but one evil can't create another evil, so we have to do a good to negate the evil. So I think it was evil that the woman got raped, but at the end of the day, we have to bring that child to term because that's the good. So we create a good out of an evil, and that's how the West was built. And that's just like, that's a profoundly ridiculous statement to make. It's like there's not really anything of logically sound ground for him to base his argumentation off. More just like good destroys evil, right? And it's like, okay, but in this case, the woman is the victim, and she's now going to have to host and carry to term a child that she does not want, and then she's going to have to give birth and look after that child in perpetuity forever. That again is like torture of such a degree that I can't fathom for someone who doesn't want to go through any of that. That's a profoundly fucked up thing to say, that is the moral standpoint to have, that a woman who's forced against her will to have to give birth should have to do that no matter what, you know. And at that point, even when the baby's born, the right doesn't give two fucks about it. It's like, okay, and then are you going to take care of the baby? Are you personally, Charlie Kirk, going to open up the Charlie Kirk adoption agency to be able to take care of every single mother who has been sexually assaulted and doesn't want to take care of their children post-birth? Are you going to start an adoption agency in general? Is there any interest in passing legislation, you know, on the Republican side for a change that actually helps out single mothers, working mothers, single families that have a lot of trouble? You know, that's where you could point towards, hey, what's the single good thing that, you know, Kamala's proposing? $6,000 new kid tax credit would be pretty huge. Definitely change a lot of families' lives if they suddenly had, $6,000 extra in their bank account to be able to deal with everything from medical expenses to grocery bills to diapers to, you name it. It's one of those things where that's where the right stops. Like, we don't care. We care about protecting the idea of conception, of the angels, the unborn babies that are you know, being conceived by the strange looks that you're all giving to each other. Look how it's performed with the flags and musical chairs. What the fuck is this? No, it's not. It's neither. I think Jubilee is sensationalist dreck. Then this isn't like in any way a format to actually have people learn, right? Like, I think the most you can learn from is the first 3 minutes where she absolutely like schools Charlie Kirk on an issue that he's, you know, pretending to know a lot about, which is, you know, birth.
Hey, if you'd like to unlock secret bonus episodes as well as uncensored content, go to patreon.com/The Serfs. This show is produced by Anna Loves Riley, Arian McCarthy, Cheryl Alvarez, Comrade Junkie, Doug Caddy, Everything Important, Hagbard Celine, Jimmy Sombrero, Voltimondi, Omni, Political Puppy, Preston Kroll, Quiet 185, Riley and Anna, Roller Dragon, Cernicus, Stellar Gwyn, Sebastian Demmel, Travis McClinton, Trincel, Words Greenwood, with additional support coming from all of these amazing human beings right here.